Welcome back to GarageBand Basics. Today we're going to take a look at how to create a podcast. As usual, we're going to open up a new document in GarageBand, and I'm already here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the podcast feature, and from there I'm going to choose that. Again, I'm going to save this. Don't save everything as My Song because we'd have 4 different My Song things on our desktop right now. Let's go ahead and call this our review podcast. Okay, what we will be doing is actually we will be creating a review. You will be reviewing something of your choice. Okay, and you can review a movie. You could review a song or an album. You could review a recently released video game. You could review a website. You could review a book. You could review pretty much anything. And of course, a review, the idea is you're giving your opinion on that. So you're going to take a stand one way or the other. If you really liked it or you didn't like it, try not to be wishy-washy in your review. And, you could do your own signature thing. Siskel and Ebert did 2 thumbs up. You can come up with a star rating, however you want to do it, but you create your review. Your review will be 1 minute long, and even before you come to GarageBand, what's going to happen is you're going to create your script. So using Pages, you will type up your script. It should be 1 minute long. You'll want to test that out even before you come here to record. You could come in and test it out a couple times to get practiced up, and then you're going to actually record your review here. Now, as you can see, once you get in here for your podcast, you've got a bunch of tracks that are pre-created for you. The top track we're not going to be using right away, but we're going to keep it. Don't delete that. We won't use it today, but it will come up tomorrow. Okay, then we've got our male voice, our female voice, and then jingles. Jingles is basically your soundtrack, so you can put any sounds, music, or anything like that. And I would highly recommend dropping those in for your movie review. So, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the female voice right now, because that doesn't have any use for me. Okay, and, I can't see what I'm doing here. Let's go ahead and try that again. Track and delete track. So I get rid of that one. I've got my 3 main ones. Now, whichever track I have selected is the one that it's going to record to. So I want to make sure that I'm on the male voice. Before I even get going, I'm going to go ahead and set up a couple features on the male voice. A lot of you were asking how to make adjustments to different tracks. This would be how to do it. I select the track that I want to make an adjustment to, and I go ahead and click on I. It's going to give me all the information of the track. Right now it's telling me that this is a vocals track, and that I've got the male basic effect added onto this. Now, if I want to go in and change that up, I can go into a number of different things over here, male rock vocals, anything like that, but more or less, once I make my selection here, which I'm going to keep it on male basic, I'm all good to go. Okay, now, my next step here is that I'm going to go ahead and begin recording the script that I have. I'm shooting for 1 minute long. Okay, I want to leave a little bit of space in the front, a little bit of space at the end. I can move my track around after the fact, but then I would go ahead and I'd begin my recording here. After I get my voice recorded, I get everything fixed. There's a couple things that I'd like to show you here. If I hit record, and I'm going along, and I'm saying different things, and I'm not exactly very articulate, like I have some long pauses that really shouldn't be in there, one of the things that I can do is, after the fact, I can go back, and I can erase some of that content. So, I recorded that, I look back, and I can see in here, and I'd want to listen to it to make sure. Okay, so now we can hear some of those pauses that are in there. Let's go ahead and edit those out. Now you can edit up here on the top track, but it's more challenging because you can't see the music quite as well or see the frequency quite as well. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to edit. First I'm going to stretch this out a little bit down here. And then after that, I'm going to find my first problematic area. So let's go ahead and back it up here. Okay, so there was a longer pause that I would want to get rid of. I don't want to get rid of all of the pause, but I want to get rid of it so that it sounds a little bit more natural in my speech pattern. So down here, I would click and drag to highlight a segment of what I want to get rid of. I go ahead and click delete, and now up here, I've got two different clips. While I'm still on this expanded view, I'm going to go ahead and drag these together, and now we get an idea of what that sounds like. Okay, so there's another pause that I've got in there. It's a little bit awkward, so I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to delete that out of there. Go ahead and delete that out. This is one of the things that you can do just to fine-tune your recording. Okay, so that's sounding pretty good. Once I get everything all solidified there, I've got 1 minute of recording roughly, give or take a couple seconds. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to start adding in my jingles. This is where it's going to be really important to make sure that your voice is the emphasis on the volume and that the jingles are in the background. You don't want the jingles to overpower what's going on with your voice. So if I come in and I add in, let's say, a guitar that comes into the background, let's go with, I've got kind of a rock bluesy thing going on here. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to use this as kind of a beginning thing to play in the beginning of all this here. So go ahead and drag that in. And we drag that over. Now I go ahead and give it a play. Alright, now music way too long. However, it's kind of a cool intro. So I could just select all of these tracks, drag them over a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a fade. So right about the time where I'm going to come in here, and we can drag that back just about here. I'm going to create that fade. Okay, now I can go ahead and time that up a little bit better here. There we go. We drag that over right about in there. And you probably want more of a gradual fade, so I drag this over so it doesn't seem quite so dramatic. There we go, and I've got it pretty well adjusted here. I'm going to create the same kind of fade at the end, but it's not going to fade down, it's going to fade out completely. Okay, those are the basics of your podcast to begin with here. And this is a basic podcast because it only has sound in it. We'll be talking about an enhanced sound or podcast tomorrow. Until then, thank you.